saying, "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand." And Matthew tells us, as he walked by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, who was called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And he said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." Immediately they left their nets and followed him. And going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, in the boat with Zebedee, their father, mending their nets, and he called them. And immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. So what do you suppose Jesus was thinking? It's not just a rhetorical question. So as we start out today, I want you to take a moment and actually consider. Put yourself in his place. Try to imagine just what Jesus was thinking 2,000 years ago as he began piecing his ministry together. Just picture this. You've just been baptized. You've been baptized and the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and the Spirit landed on you like a dove and also like a ton of bricks all at the same time. Because it was at that moment, it was at that sacred, holy moment of revelation that you received not only the gift of the Holy Spirit, but you also suddenly became fully aware of why you were here. As Jesus, you're the Son of Man and you're the Son of God. You're separate, but yet you're still part of the Creator in some mystical way that you may not be able to explain or maybe even can't understand in your current human form. But you know, as surely as you know who your human mother and father were, that there's also something of the divine in you. Now, unlike the Blues Brothers, you're on a mission from God. You know this because now you know that you're the Messiah. You are literally the anointed one. You're chosen by God. You're the one who's come to earth to live and walk among us with one mission: to fulfill God's plan for his people and to minister to the least and the lost of them. You're here to save this miserable, broken piece of God's creation that persists in doing everything in its power to distance itself from its Creator. You're Jesus, you're here because humanity has fallen so far and has run up such a huge debt of sin that you're the only hope. You will have to preach. You will have to teach and to serve and ultimately die for these people. And while you're doing that, at the same time, you have to be laying the foundation for a ministry that will continue after you're gone, so that in time the whole world will be able to hear about it. All this within the space of 3 years or less. And P.S., you may be the Son of God, but to the world around you, you're just a common laborer. The Greeks call it tecton, just a man with no means or social standing other than laborer. Because strip away the fancy language and the theology, and it all boils down to one simple task. Your mission is to save humanity. So if you're Jesus, what are you thinking? What's going through your mind? I think I know what will be going through mine. Saturday nights meant Lawrence Welk and Gunsmoke, and in between it was impossible. As a kid, I absolutely loved that show, and I would sit there on the living room floor with my bowl of popcorn and my bottle of Dad's root beer. And every week I would wait with bated breath for that disembodied voice to say, "Good morning, Mr. Graves. Your mission, should you decide to accept it." And then that voice would go on to describe some utterly fantastic, ridiculously impossible mission. You know, your mission, should you decide to accept it, is to trick the head of the KGB into turning over a list of agents by convincing him that he's lived through an invasion from space and been captured by three-headed aliens. Whatever. It's just something totally devious and complex and ridiculous and fun. But no matter what the mission was, Briggs, and later Mr. Phelps, they would listen, and they would nod, and they'd look thoughtful, and then he'd go back to his place and they'd start assembling the perfect team for the job. And coincidentally enough, the job always required a master of disguise and a beautiful woman, and an electronics expert and a circus strongman. But then there was always a guest spy, somebody that had a unique talent that they needed for that job. The guests were brought in because not every member of the team was right for any given job. In fact, as you watched them go through the Asian portfolios at the beginning of the show, you look at a picture and a description of the person, you guessed that most members of the team weren't suited for any particular job, but somehow they always managed to have just the right person with just the right skill set to do what they needed to do. Somehow, when they needed a smallish man who knew something about nuclear weapons and alarm systems, and who could also fit into an extra-large suitcase, they had one. In this case, it was Wally Cox, the actor, or his character anyway. And he get recruited for the job. Now, if you're of a certain age, at least, you might remember Wally Cox. He was Mr. Peepers. You might remember him as the voice of Underdog. He was the go-to guy for a while in Hollywood when you wanted somebody who was meek and mild-mannered. He was always he was slight. He was a very unimposing-looking man. He seemed very mild-mannered. He was polar opposite what you think of when you think of a spy. And for most impossible missions, he would have been a bad fit, because Wally Cox wasn't the type of man who could pull off being an international hitman or a jet-setting playboy or a suave intelligence agent. But depending on the mission, sometimes Wally Cox was perfect. Sometimes he was just what they needed and got assigned to an impossible mission. Back to the original question, what was Jesus thinking? When I was reading this earlier this week, I could imagine Jesus sitting under the fig tree, carefully going through those portfolios, just like Briggs and Phelps did. He was looking at all of the potential disciples that might be available to him. He goes through that stack slowly, pondering each one, and then he drops some onto the discard pile, and some go onto the keeper pile. And he does this very thoughtfully until he's put together his dream team for ministry. And then with some suspenseful music in the background, he looks them over one more time. It's an unlikely team, isn't it? And seriously, if you're putting together a team that's supposed to help you save the world, if you're putting together a team that's supposed to help you carry out the most important ministry, the most important mission in the history of the world, and then that will also be able to continue your work after you're gone, in the face of Roman persecution and everything else that could go wrong. If you're putting together a team that will be able to lay down the foundations of the church so effective that it will continue for at least the next couple of 1,000 years. Are these the guys you pick? Some fishermen? A couple of hand-me-down disciples from John the Baptist? Tax collector? Who's come along later? really who you would pick to change the world with you? If you're Jesus, the answer is, well, yeah. These are my guys, these 12. They're my impossible missions team. Fishermen. Disciples of a jailed prophet, a zealot, a tax collector, even a traitor. These were common men. They were men of no particularly obvious strength except one. Jesus could look into their hearts. He could look into their souls and see what they were made of. And when he did that, he knew that they had the heart and the skills and the character to do just what he needed them to do. Because being a disciple of Jesus wasn't about what you used to do. It was about what you chose to do after you committed to him. Being a disciple of Jesus wasn't about who you used to be, but who you were becoming. Now, on a practical level, I think Jesus knew that these men, these common men, would be able to relate far better to the rest of the world than any collection of scribes and Pharisees might be able to do. He knew that they would be able to connect with people. They'd be able to connect with the least and the lost that he'd come to save far more easily than any collection of rich and powerful and sanctimonious hypocrites might be able to do. And Jesus knew that he could take these dozen average men and gently, patiently mold them into something that would be far more effective and far greater than what they were when they started. He could look into their hearts. He could look into their souls and see the promise there, see the gifts that they didn't even know they had. He could see strength and courage that they never suspected. He could see all of that, and he knew that it was just what he needed for this mission. After 2,000 years of history, 2,000 years of success, we know that he was right. These men, these 12, and the ones that came after, the men and women that came after them, they were the perfect choice. So 2,000 years later, what does that teach us? What can we glean from this first century mission impossible? First, I suppose, we learn that with the power of the Holy Spirit behind him, nothing is impossible. Second, we learn that Jesus was an excellent judge of character and that he could motivate followers in a way that would have made this environment jealous. But I think the third thing, the most important one, that I think we can infer from this part of the gospel is that none of us is safe. None of us is safe from the call. None of us are safe from that tap on the shoulder, that moment when God looks at his to-do list and says, I think I need a teacher. Or a farmer. I think I need an insurance broker, or a truck driver, or a student. A customer service person. I am just who to call on. Because in the end, we all have value. We are all shaped by experience and blessed by gifts of the Spirit so that we can do our part in this great mission. This impossible mission that's still going on today. Christianity has been wildly successful. There's 2 billion Christians in the world today, but that also means 2/3 of the world is not. So there's still a lot of work to do. And there is a job is a mission for which each of us is perfect. So once we know that, then the question becomes, are we willing? Like the fishermen in the gospel, are we willing to just drop our nets? Are we willing to take a risk and to step out in faith and to put ourselves out there? Are we willing to do that to help save a broken world? Our mission, if we should decide to accept it, is to answer the call.